so we are back out here in the garage this afternoon. We're gonna try to get some stuff done on the Comet, but first we gotta clean all this mess up. See, this is the part I hate the most about working on the car, is when you get out here and you work on another project like all weekend. You know, as you've seen in the video, I busted butt on Duramax. I've got rags, cleaning supplies. I've got crap out of the old truck, F-250. I've got Randy's bed sheets on the back of my car. Don't ask me how or why I have Randy's bed sheets. I've had Randy's bed sheets now for like over a month. They need to be back on Randy's bed and not in my garage on the back of my car. But I've got crap thrown all over the car, cans. I mean, I got to clean all this crap up before I get started. I'm not the type that I can't just come out here and dig in on all this crap. You know, random brushes, everything all over the place. Like, I can't just dig in and work on the car when the slate's not clean and there's stuff everywhere. Then on the car itself, there's pollen everywhere because it is like snowing pollen down here right now. And so if you have the freaking garage door open, you know, over the weekend, and I'm allergic to pollen, so this stuff sucks. But if you have the garage door open on the weekend, everything gets covered in pollen. So I gotta clean my workbench off. Dude, this is crazy. And I'm probably gonna wipe the car down with a quick detailer because, like, it's hard to, for me, I mean, look at it on the roof. It's hard to work on this in this condition for me because I just feel like this box right here has been literally here since we remodeled the garage. This thing's irritating me, but I haven't put it up because all these blocks in here, how I redid my rear chalks, I want to redo my front ones, and I'm going to use them boards. They can't go outside in the rain because they're not treated, so they just sit here on the floor. Did get in this box. So we listened to TKM and Kevin, and he said get rid of the 2.5-inch intercooler piping, so that's what I have done. So I've got a whole box full of freaking 3.5-inch intercooler piping that we got to fab up. So I'm gonna try to make some grounds tonight. Trash everywhere, like trash. Tools all over the place. So I gotta get this under control. The wife and Harper have took over my table. So I have got plants and Elmos and more pollen. Tools everywhere, crap galore. So all this got to get cleaned up. So I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to clean all this up, and then we're going to get at it. F-250 sells fast, because if it does sell fast, we're really going to be ahead. But I'm behind on this thing. I mean, I've got stuff obviously here. I don't like to be in a position where I have stuff to put on the car and it's not on the car. I'd rather for the car to be waiting for finances versus the car be waiting on me to do stuff. So basically this whole project, I'm like 2.5 years into this car. I've never once waited on money. It's never been really about the money. The money's flowed in steady on this car, and I have worked on it steady. So it's been a steady pace the whole time. We're never too far out. Like, we never have a bunch of parts, but we also are never out of things to do. And a lot of the reason why it took 2.5 years is because I've redone so much stuff. But I'm hoping to gain some more ground tonight. I have decided, y'all, that I'm really going to try to go in hard on this car. I'm hoping that the F-250 sells quick and that financially we can really shoot this car up about 6 months ahead of schedule, 5 months ahead of schedule. And so I'm really going to make an effort to try to bust out a bunch of stuff and catch up with like everything I have. I told the wife I'm going to try to work every night till 10 o'clock out here this week alone if I can do it. I'm trying to also balance the Duramax. I'm overloaded at the shop with customer work right now. I have more customer work on my plate than I want or can handle. Plus, I'm a dealer, so I have all my dealer cars. We literally just got in 4 today, wrecked on a wedge trailer. And then we got in 1 demolished one last week. So I've got plus ones I got left over. So I own about 8 to 10 cars that I have not put together yet. On top of the 4 or 5 customer cars I got, on top of my daily driver, which is the Duramax now, is totaled, and I'm driving it, and on top of the Comet, I got stuff to do. So I'm overloaded, literally overloaded right now. But I'm gonna try to clean up all this mess, get all these tools put back up where to go, probably quick wax this car down to get this pollen off of it, wipe these tabletops down real fast so I can feel fresh and start over. Got Justin Swanstrom on the TV, and we're gonna get at it. So it's probably gonna take me an hour, I don't know, 30 minutes, maybe just 30 minutes, not an hour. But it's gonna take me a few to clean up everything, put everything up. That way I'm not making more mess on top of mess. And then I'll get back with y'all if we get anything decent, or I'll go through, you know, pile of stuff right here that we got in the mail today. So I'll be right back.
So she's all cleaned up, but here's the issue. Mostly cleaned up, a couple of tiny little odds and ends. Car's clean, 100% wiped down. You can see she looks way better. Guys, shine back to her, even though it's still rough. Listen. Yeah. I'm telling y'all think that this thing's so nice, man. It was nice. It was cut and buffed. It was waxed. This thing was amazing. And it has took a beating in this garage. Garage kept is just about the worst thing that could happen to a car like this, man. It has been hit with grinding sparks, pollen, dust, everything, dirt, all over it. So it's gonna have to be waxed again when we're done. So it's definitely gonna have to be waxed again when we're done. But here's the problem. I even cleaned the garage, my garage door ledges. I wiped down the car. I wiped down the countertop, the workbench. I wiped down all the chairs. So everything in here smells now like a mixture of Lucas quick wax all over the car and of Armor all over the benches and seats and everything else. All stirring up all that pollen in here. I'm allergic to pollen, so now I have like a headache. And I'm kind of wore out because I just cleaned like the whole garage. All the floors are nice and clean and swept. I mean, there's still some junk on them. The box still ain't went nowhere, but everything is swept. So it kind of like stirred up all that mess. So sadly, I think I'm gonna go inside for tonight and get at it tomorrow because I'm beat. We'll try to get at it tomorrow. I painted the Duramax fender today, and so I'm gonna try to install the Duramax fender tomorrow night at the house. Unfortunately, when I do that, then I'll probably have the garage door back open, meaning pollen back in here, sticking all over the waxed car. Sometimes it just sucks. But yeah, that's where we're at. All right, so it is now Tuesday afternoon. Got done working on the Duramax this afternoon. Did not feel like working out here really at like all, but I'm gonna try to get some stuff done. So I see other people like getting it on their vehicles, and I'm always feeling bad at night because, you know, I'll decide, I'm like, oh, I should just rest one night and skip, and then I'm like, man, everybody else is out there getting it, and I've already showed y'all I can work crazy hours. Sometimes I just don't feel like it. You just feel like, oh, I'll just do it another day. And really, you got to stay at this stuff to stay ahead and to get stuff done. So we're gonna try to get some stuff done. I feel bad whenever I just don't work. Got some pieces in. I'm gonna flip the camera around, go over what we got real fast, and then I'm gonna cut the camera off and just try to make some grounds tonight on this car. It's gonna be a lot of little stuff, so there's like nothing to really just show flat out. So I'm gonna flip. Got the other clamps in. I did not know there was 4 of them. Holy crap. So the ones that I ordered the other day were too small for the bars on the front. So I reordered these, okay, for the water pump. All I needed was 1 clamp. So all I was missing is 1 clamp, and now I have 4. So I did not know I had put an order for 4 in. All I did was reorder an order I already placed. So that must have been whenever I got 4. 20 ANs. So we got a 20 AN line that I was going to put over there and basically come from, hook this into the radiator like this down there, and then it was going to snake around the bar and back up into the water pump like that on this end. The problem is that when I got it in, me and Mike were looking at it, and yeah, I can't bend it. So I didn't think about 20 AN being so big that I can't bend it without it kinking. So I literally cannot come out of that radiator and wrap around into the water pump. So that's not gonna work. So already running into problems. See, already started. So now what I'm thinking, I thought on it a lot last night, is our 20 AN bungs here. We're gonna put another 20 AN bung here.
I think I'm gonna just go with a 90 here, basically, to a 90 there. So I just need a short little run. And it goes uphill, so that's not gonna be bad. I should be able to come off at a 90, go down, kind of curve and shoot up, or maybe lift this thing up. I don't know. I'm gonna mess with that some tonight. So one thing I want to get done tonight is figure out my lines. The other one, the 20 AN we talked about, is gonna come off here and go over here. So this needs to be a 45. That needs to be a 45. That'll be a straight shot. That should be no issues. Since the alternator belt's gonna be in there, Procharger belt will be out here or down here. That should be no issue. And then the 12 AN will obviously come straight off of here and then zip tie to the line. You match up right there. So that's not gonna be an issue. The only one down there is gonna be, that one down there is gonna be funky. And I might end up flipping the water pump. See, that's the cool thing about the necks that I built on the ends unbolting, is I can flip the body around. I could, and if I flipped it, that would shoot it up like that. And then if I shot it up like that, I could come, I don't know. I gotta think about it. Anyway, but I'm thinking about ordering a kit where I build my own AN lines. I can do it for like $200 and build both of these upper and lower AN lines. So it's not bad instead of this used stuff. And I have priced cutting this used piece and putting another end on it, but it's not, and then making the other upper, but it's not gonna be worth it. So I'm gonna sell this one. I'm gonna put this on my eBay store probably and my marketplace and sell it. And I might even go ahead and screw in some -20 bungs for whoever buys it, because you know some people don't know that you can easily get this, so it might sell better, especially on Facebook, if I include some bungs. I think I have enough, so that's another thing. I got to get a count of how many bungs I have and get going on the puke tank. I got these V-band clamps in, so we are going to V-band the, now that we changed up everything, we're going to V-band the Procharger and the throttle body, and we may go ahead and V-band the intercooler. I was gonna wait on that because I know I'm gonna be changing that out later. So it's got some Allen wrenches that go in it. It looks like in the ends. So I don't know, that's pretty cool. So it's got a nut in that side. So these are not like quick disconnects. These are not like some big name brand or anything. That's the brand of them. Let's see if I can get it focused. There's the brand. They come off eBay. They're not that expensive at all. But I just didn't want to pay for anything really expensive and really nice, because like I said, stuff's probably going to change. So, you know, the long-term goal of this car would be to, you know, not get rid of radiator, because I want to keep a street car, but maybe go with the radiator, move it to the rear mount, you know, in a year or so, and then get a crank driven, you know, one, and maybe even change out the motor. So because you can't run a crank support on the Gen 1s. So if I did a Gen 2 block, I could run a crank sport. But yeah, that's just all thinking out loud. So who knows? I also want to build a whole nother one and just kind of keep this one. But I picked them up. So we are going to eventually get the intercooler piping all cut. Don't want to do that at night because it's so freaking loud. I don't have like a bandsaw. Bandsaws are not too loud. I have to use like a cutoff wheel or a saw. So here's a bag of all kinds of crap. So let's see here. I got some fittings. And this is where I have to go back and remember what I bought this stuff for. I don't even remember what I bought this stuff for. These are obviously for a hose. I have no clue. I literally cannot even remember what I bought them for right now. That's for the brakes. That's going to be the Y underneath the back of the car to go from the single line to the dual fuel pump. So one fuel pump come in, one fuel pump comes in, and then one line goes to the front of the car. Just some more P-clamps that I need to hold up underneath the car. A whole thing of nut certs. I ordered more nut certs. Let's see here. The new bolts come in. Remember these right here were shorter. They were too short. So I had to order more. You can see the difference. So the new bolts come in for the fuel lines and more bungs. These are the -12. So I think I only needed one for the radiator, and I think I just ordered all these for inventory. This was, I only needed one also, I think, and I just ordered a bunch for inventory, so I have them. This is going to be for a pressure sensor, so I'm going to put a pressure sensor in the radiator so that we can monitor coolant pressure. So I ordered a Bong 1/8 NPT for that. And then this piece, let's see here, what was that for? Oh, I think for the, fuel filter. To join the fuel filter to this piece. Because the fuel filter is gonna go up front. Obviously the arrow is the wrong way, but it's gonna go up front. So you'll have the fuel pump feeding in, goes through the fuel filter and shoots it up to the front of the motor. So that's for that. I need to figure out how to mount that on the car. Still need to put the steering column in the car, and still need to move all of this that we took apart the other night inside the car. So yeah, I'm gonna just go through this little bit of stuff I got laying up here on the bench tonight and see what kind of ground I can make. See if I can get this mounted under the car, put steering rack back in the car, maybe put it in permanently. Well, not permanently, but put it in because I still got to do the headers. And then see if we can build something to mount these inside the car. Might not be able to do too much cutting tonight because Harper being asleep. And then I got the brake lines, and the fitting for the front brake lines. So maybe I will go ahead and that for the brakes. So maybe I'll work a little bit on the brakes tonight and tying in some of the rear fuel stuff. So I'll get back with y'all whenever I got something done because this is boring. You don't want to see all this. And I got to figure out what I ordered these from, man. This sucks, dude, because I don't remember. I ordered so much crap. That's an AN10. Man, I can't even remember right now off the top of my head. So whenever I figure that out, I'll know what I'm doing with that. I do remember what this is for. So the Dash 10 that I ordered to feed the fuel line, to feed the fuel to the car off of this is way too long. So I'm gonna have a section I don't need. And then I needed a small section to feed from the pump that I have into the Y, or from the secondary pump into the Y. Either way, I needed a small section. So I just ordered 2 ends so that I can cut the one that's in the car and use a part of that. But I need to probably use the cutoff wheel to cut that braided, steel braided line. So it looks like we won't be doing that tonight, but at least I now remembered what that was for. So here's the problem I got. There were definitely, you can see the roll bar up here, and this side I've got the bolt out of, but watch this. This is how much play this thing's got, because when I had originally drilled this, I messed up the holes. So if you watch, I'll zoom it out, watch over here and watch over here. See, that side don't even move. So this was, like I said, way back whenever I was originally learning, and I thought I messed up alignment on the holes. I could just make a bigger hole, clamp it down tight, and it would be, good enough. And it definitely would have never been good enough, because that would have never actually held. One hit and a little bit of twist, and that would have definitely twisted that right up. So I'm working on getting this out, which I wanted out anyway, because I'm gonna route these lines right here, and then we're actually gonna move this anti-roll bar down to the axle. All right, so here's the crap that was under that bar. So let's see here. See that? How it looks like an Easter egg, egged out. Look at how bad that is. That side is a lot better. But that would have never worked, man. I mean, that's the type of stuff that I learned. The crucialness, this side was correct, okay? That's got a hole. That's got a hole. So this side was correct. But then when I went to, put it on the table, it wasn't, it didn't lay flat. So I hollered out the holes to make the arms lay flat, not thinking, that would have never worked. And I knew this had to be changed, and I already talked to Mike about it. We knew we had to cut all of this out because I made this mistake and put it in whenever I originally built this car. This was probably put in 1.5 years ago now. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go get another one of them bars that size if I'm gonna use this arm, and we're gonna move it so that the bar comes off of the rear end like that, and then the end links go up here somewhere. So I have tons of frame room now that I originally did not have, because I had the spare tire pan pretty much came right here. So I couldn't put a bar here originally whenever I built this car, and that's the reason why I built it the way I built it. But now I can easily come off of this bottom one where the bar pivots, and I can go straight up there and put it off of the rear end. So it's just one example of the many mistakes I made whenever I originally built this car.
you know, and just learning as you go, learning the importance of things that you thought you could get away with whenever you built the car. And also, when I originally built this, the car wasn't this low. So if you look, I'll show you, this car's only been a roller. It's never been down the track, obviously. So check this out. Right there, it had already hit. It was already denting the tin work in the floor because I lowered the car so much more from what it originally was when I built it. So yeah, that sucks, but that's lesson learned, right? That's things learned. So I'm gonna keep at it. I'm working on routing this line up through here because I'm gonna go through the center. Originally I was gonna go over here near the wheel and everything, but it's just too messy around all this shock's too tight. So I'm actually gonna come between the you know, the center of the axle and the 4-link brackets all the way through. That way it's nice and clean.